A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Back from a week off and better than ever. It's time for the return of the Venom Truck Series, round number 5 of the 10th season here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Tonight it is the Layton River Ellison Memorial here at the Magic Mile. Welcome aboard the opening round of the Car Inside in-season tournament. A lot of things going on here tonight, but it's Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson, as always, partner. Welcome back to the Magic Mile for the first time since season number 6 here in the Venom Truck Series. A lot of lessons have been learned here between our last journey to New Hampshire and now, thanks to our friends at the MaxV CNC Home Designs Truck Series. A lot of very interesting things could very well bound here this evening.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, this is an exciting racetrack. I think it's one that the drivers come in. It's a little bit of an oddball. Some drivers that you wouldn't expect to excel kind of do, and then others that you might expect to do well might not do so well. It's just kind of one of those oddball type of tracks. So I'm excited to see, since we haven't been here in so long with the Venom Truck Series, to see who's been doing their practice, who remembers things that they've picked up on over the last couple of years, and see who can take the top spot here after tonight.
Lots of things going on with iRacing as well that we'll talk about here shortly. But let's give the folks a reminder of how things look after Talladega 2 weeks ago. A wild conclusion has shuffled the points and really constricted this field from about 6th on down. Yeah, I mean, the things were kind of tight in the points to, even before last week. But, I mean, yeah, things have certainly tightened up after the wild race we had at Talladega. Matt Schlosser atop the point standings. Andy Poliski has himself tied for second with John Kay. So it's a three-way battle up there at the top right now. Josh Monachek not too far behind either. So if he has a good night here tonight, he could really propel himself forward. Jordan Journeau continues his great season. He is up into the top 5 in points now. This is a breakout year for Journeau so far here in season number 10. Andy Ducato, of course, the big win at Talladega. He is up there in 6th. Steve Roman, Jan Van Leer, Josh Freed, Zach Lockett
bracket are your top 10 that would make the chase if it were to have ended after last week. Of course, we still have lots of racing to go. Hayden Palumbo, Cade Cannon, Michael Dean, Chad Stearns, and Rodney Matney are all in the top 15, but as you can see, even Rodney Matney there in 15th, only 13 points off the cut line. Things are going to continue to be very interesting this season.
It's certainly the only reason Hayden Palumbo is out of the picture right now is because he was not at the race last week at Talladega. He's back here tonight. He's been very fast in practice this evening. So Palumbo misses out on the chance to be in the tournament bracket here for the car inside in-season tournament. But there are 16 drivers who are going to be vying for the prize here in a few weeks' time. It all kicks off with 8 very interesting matchups here this evening.
Yeah, most certainly. Number 1 was your race winner at Talladega. That's Andy Ducato. He'll be going up against Garrett Rainey, who is in the 16th spot. Oh, I think we had a couple of dropouts here, by the way, so things did get shuffled a little bit through the middle and the end of the list here to make the matchups. But we'll keep going there. The next matchup on the list is Rodney Matney and Andy Poliski. That should be a good one. Cade Cannon, RJ Starcevic is scheduled to be the 5 versus 12. I heard that RJ was having some computer issues, so I'm not sure if he's going to be here tonight.
He did not make it into the session, no.
Yeah, so, well, that's going to be an easy dub there for Cannon then. So the 5th seed already moving on before we've even taken the green flag, really. Paul Ellison versus Steve Roman, your 13 versus 14 seeds. That will be a classic, no doubt. Josh Freed and Kyle Zittel-Freed still putting together lots of good finishes here this season. He's looking to go up against the number 53, the dude KZ. 11 versus 6, Eric Breeding and Brantley Gainey. Rob Williams will take on Brian Mitchell. And Michael Dean and Jordan Journeau will be your 15th versus 2 seed here. So those are the matchups here tonight. I do believe everybody else is here other than RJ Starcevic. So all the other matchups are good to go here tonight.
Yes, indeed. It does look like everybody else is here. Some notable omissions from this matchup, as some of the front-running drivers from this season did not get good finishes last week at Talladega. And you know what? Most certainly that was by design. So we'll kick things over here in just about 5 seconds to tonight's starting grid. But I want to say hello to Cole Maxwell, who is taking his provisional here this evening. Hello to the Modichecks, as always. Hello to Bailey. Hello to Robin. Hello to Joshua Rutherford, who will be on the grid here this evening. And hello to Don Golden, as always, as well. 33 drivers, 155 laps. It's the Layton River Ellison Memorial for the first time here at the Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. One driver who needs a kick in the pants big time to kick off his season. Best finish of 15th thus far in Season 10. Lucas Carver will take the pole position for the 4th time in his career, first time this season. John Kay will line up to his outside as the defending New Hampshire winner 4 seasons ago. Hayden Palumbo back in the lineup after missing Talladega last week. He'll start in 3rd with Chad Stearns lining up to his outside. Brady Gunter, Joshua Modichek lineup on row number 3, your reigning series champion. And the new points leader, Matt Schlosser, starts in 7th with the Season 5 champion Andy Poliski, now 2nd in the points. He will line up to his outside in 8th. Cade Cannon, one of a handful of drivers to get their best career finish last week at Talladega. He'll start in 9th next to Paul Ellison, who will round out the top 10. Joshua Rutherford, great starting spot for him in 11th to the inside of Austin Holyfield on row number 6. Kyle Zittel and last week's race winner Andy Ducato starting at 14th. It is Josh Freed and Jordan Journeau. On row number 8, Garrett Rainey, Jan Van Leer, Brantley Gainey, Zach Lockett, the top 20 starters. Jeremy McKinnon and Eric Breeding on row number 11, with Steve Roman, Brian Mitchell, Gary Clark, your top 25 starters. 33 drivers are here as the drivers will roll down into turn number 1 here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Let's get the lay of the land here from Matt Williamson as the Venom Truck Series begins to roll.
Yeah, the weather conditions here, 72 degrees is the ambient temperature. Track temperature right now, 92 degrees. That's honestly a pretty good track temperature here for New Hampshire. This thing can get slick and get loose in a hurry. So, yeah, driver's going to want to be very, very careful on cold tires here, though. That is always something going into turn 1 here at New Hampshire that you got to watch out for. 150 laps around the Magic Mile here tonight. Are expecting a 2-stop race, most likely for tires here, but we'll see how the cautions shake out as well.
Lots of things have changed here in just today. Really, they had a practice session last night. A huge update today, and that will play into things as well. As we're underway here at New Hampshire, Lucas Carver and John Kay will lead them down into turn number 1.
Oh, big wreck in the back already. That is Rodney Matney.
Man, I think we're still green.
Yeah, he just towed to the pits. We're going to stay green here.
Man. So Matney out of it here as up front. Carver continuing to lead. Oh, there's Brody Gunter wobbling up the track. Slams into the door of Chad Stearns. Stearns will pay the price. He drops back a few car lengths. Carver leads the opener.
A lot of drivers looking uncomfortable here on the cold tires. You see Andy Poliski way down on the apron, somewhat by design, but he was pretty far down there. I don't think he meant to be that far down.
Well, we will see. Certainly that will be something we discuss here as this race goes along. Oh, caution is out. Not going to be talking about it yet. As Mark Osier is around.
Yeah.
I think there were some other happenings going on as well. Sounds like Corey Rutherford and Steve Roman were arguing for position. A lot to dissect here in just a couple laps' time. That was a wild, not so magical start to this race, if I do say so myself.
Let's take a look at what happens to the 17 here. It looks like just a self-spin. And this is potential. This has potential to be very common here tonight. It is pretty tough coming off of turn 2. Pretty slick. Cold tires. Really got to be careful. Just a little self-spin there for the 17. Let's go to the green flag and see if we can figure out what happens to Rodney Matney. I think his night might be over. I mean, he hit it hard.
Yeah, he has left the session, so that's the end of his night and the end of his tournament as well.
So the 83 orange truck here towards the back. Oh, a huge checkup, and Rob Williams gets turned into the outside lane, right into Matney. And that was initiated by the 17, big checkup, getting into that right rear of Rob Williams.
Well, that will not sit well with the race review committee, nor will it sit well with Rodney Matney or Stickers McQueen when he stops by inevitably to see his driver at the back of the line here.
Do need to mention, you mentioned the iRacing update.
Yes.
There may be things that pop up on the broadcast that are not supposed to. iRacing has really thrown us for a loop as far as the UI graphics, what kind of cues that you get that have never really been there before or been issues, and I did not have time to diagnose nearly everything, and so you'll see a green flag and yellow flag little icons on the middle of the screen, I think, when they show up every time. So that will probably go away at some point, but I think we're just going to have to live with it for tonight.
Yeah, this was a humongous update. I think the required was somewhere around 80 gigabytes for the folks like you and I that have a lot of tracks and cars. It was over 100. For me, it was 111. Massive update with a complete graphics overhaul in terms of the user interface, like you mentioned. A lot to sort through, to say the very least. A lot to sort through at the front of this field as well. Carver in control after taking the pole. He'll lead him back to the green, electing the inside underneath Hayden Palumbo. John Kay will try and get underneath the 35, and he will. Kay back to second. Palumbo, a little wiggly here, might find himself in the middle of 3 wide as Gunter and Schlosser!
Oh!
Schlosser into the left rear! And around goes Palumbo. Into the inside wall now. The car out, and oh my goodness!
Tyler Berger just absolutely slammed into Palumbo.
And he just stopped flipping. My man flipped 4 times at New Hampshire. Goodness gracious. What a wild ride. I think Berger was already getting wrecked. But he certainly got finished off there. My goodness. And now he's taking the road course.
Well, let's take a look. And you mentioned it, Palumbo gets caught in the middle of 3 wide. This, to me, in real time, looks like some netcode here between Schlosser and Palumbo off of turn 2.
I'm not sure about that. Maybe.
Brody Gunter here up in the 0-1. I mean, I'm not saying he wouldn't have touched him, but I mean, there wasn't really contact there at all. I mean, there was a good bit of space in between them.
Yeah, you're right. Harder to tell from the blimp cam, but certainly with boots on the ground.
Let's go back to Berger and see what happens. Berger in the yellow and blue. Oh, and somebody comes off the wall straight down. And this is what absolutely punts Berger down and loses control. That is Gary Clark off the wall. Right down into the 44. Unfortunately for Lisa in the chat, things have ended early here for Tyler.
Yeah, he certainly went.
That was something.
Ouch.
Let's go on board.
Got to.
Can't miss an opportunity for a flip at New Hampshire to go on board. Oh man, that is such a bad feeling. Berger doesn't know that that's coming, and then all of a sudden he is pointed straight at the car, stopped on the bottom of the racetrack, and I mean, you could just see in the wheel movements the panic that sets over.
I can relate big time from our race last night. Nothing he
could do. The wheel immediately to the right, but I mean, there's just, yeah. It's too late at that point, unfortunately.
So, outside of the folks involved in that accident, Steve Roman did come down pit road, but he was the only one under this caution. It's still Carver leading. John Kay now back to second. Will have to restart on the outside. Gets a much better start than Palumbo did on the last go. You should be able to tuck in here pretty quick.
And Cole is absolutely correct. There was definitely a McRib or two of space in there, no doubt. Look at this, John Kay going for the lead here on the bottom.
Right up to the door. There's Poliski rocking the apron as Kay with great drive off will assume the lead for the first time tonight. His work is not done. Here's Gunter.
Yeah, Gunter coming up to play. Ooh, one driver pretty far on the outside. Is that Josh Monacek's truck?
It might be.
The Chick-fil-A number 60.
Eat more chicken.
Nice battle going on between the two in the 0-1 right now. Kay able to clear Gunter into turn number 1.
All right, well, let's talk about it. Poliski running the apron. This is what we'll call the Max V line. It was discovered there. on Thursday nights, and still worked as of a few weeks ago when Max V was at New Hampshire. It wasn't what won the race, but a lot of drivers were able to make consistent laps for a long run. The only problem was they were going against Scott Patton, who literally lives here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's one of those weird things that you would think there wouldn't be much grip down there. You'd think it'd be, oh, we got a big incident.
McKinnon, Journeau, Holyfield. Looked like McKinnon got right hooked up the track with contact from Holyfield. Journeau just in the area, gets tagged. And that's caution number 3 here on lap 13. And that is the second appearance for the New Hampshire road course, as Holyfield is going to look to bring it back on track.
Well, let's take a look. Oh, this is going to be another incident of 3 wide. And, I mean, there wasn't much space for Holyfield to go there. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was room, but when you got a truck up there on the top, you don't know exactly how close to the wall they're going to be, and actually, Journeau got into the wall. So the contact between Holyfield and McKinnon puts McKinnon up into Journeau. The 3 of them go for a slide. Everybody else seems to get through this unscathed. Not a lot of contact, but, I mean, at a track like New Hampshire, any little damage to the wheel, anything that gets kind of thrown off just a touch, can make a big difference.
So that happened just outside of the top 10. Kyle Zittel with a narrow escape. And sounds like that one will make its way to the post-race review. So they might lean towards the side of a racing incident on that one. We'll see. Luckily, that's not our job. So, some casualties of the update here today. Outside of RJ Starcevic, sounds like Josh Jackson and Sam Baumgarten also with some issues getting updated here. So, that's a bummer. But it's always Tuesday. Every time. Never fails.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I about spit out my water with the no McRib there coming. Oh, goodness gracious. Also, shout out to Ryan Dye. Wants to see what everybody wants to see, which is the Twister Creek Media number 13.
Did we say hello to Allie Hill yet? Here
I
for the
don't think
race
so.
later?
I'm going to meet Allie Hill tomorrow night, if she's not asleep already by the time I get there.
My guess is she probably will be. Oh, huge stack up here on the inside line.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Wow. Yeah, this is...
there goes the Twister Creek truck.
Yeah, this is not a good display of restarting thus far. That was an absolute disaster for a number of drivers. Brantley Gainey is done. He's got a meatball, not very Swedish.
Doesn't look like much damage. That might be one of those where he can just kind of pop in real quick, get it fixed, and then maybe get back to it.
We'll find out. But, man, they were stacking up, I think, even behind Andy Poliski. So, I mean, it was right at the front of the field, and it just careened its way backwards.
Yeah, I mean, it happens like with Lockett and Freed there on the inside. I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, even back to Holyfield. Boy, that was, we gotta show a little more patience than that.
I know our race control has been harping on there being too much space through the pack on the restarts. A couple of drivers in particular have been egregious about it this season. I think they're going to lay down the law after this, I would imagine, because that was a direct result of that. People confusing closing big gaps with getting on the gas to go green, and causes braking, and the checkups just get harder and harder through the pack. So that's got to stop.
Huh. Well, while we have a minute, let's take a look at a couple of car inside cameras. Oh, well, yeah, there we go. I thought it was going to work there for a second. Would have been par for the course here tonight, but here's a look at Josh Monacek in the Eat More Chicken number 60.
That is quite the truck.
It certainly is. At first, I thought it may have been like a Jesse from Toy Story sort of situation, but I was stand corrected. Shout out to John K, of course, always rocking cameras for us, although the last couple weeks, maybe not. I think he's missed one or two this season. I will also get to see John K tomorrow, and I certainly will get to see him. He better be up, otherwise I will be sleeping in my truck.
Well, let's try this one more time here. Green flag, and still checking up decently. But we're at least going to make it to the turn this time. Here's Gunter underneath of Carver, trying to reclaim second. And they are nose to nose headed into turn number 3. Oh, Gunter with a little tap there to John K. There's Poliski again, working the apron. Top 5 with a little breakaway here.
Carver nearly got up into the wall there off of 4. But look at this, Poliski way down on the apron.
And, I mean...
And it's working.
It is working big time. 3 wide here for third. Monacek in the middle. Poliski on the apron. Carver on the top.
Carver really sent that in there. See if he can get a decent exit here off of 4. He does.
And we're not seeing this much through the field. It's only Poliski thus far that is trying it, but the other driver that would be acutely aware of it, because he had to spend the night with me a couple weeks ago, would be Joshua Monacek. And he was very aware that he was going to at least practice the move and see if he could figure it out. Whether he did or not, I'm not sure. Oh, we got problems. Rob Williams, caution's out. I think a couple other drivers involved there, but Williams was just about coming to a full stop there in the middle of 3 and 4. So it has been a caution-filled race, 5 in the first 24 laps here. These drivers try and get their bearings.
Let's take a look in real time. Rob Williams, gets in. Oh, dear. Gets in really hot into turn 3 and absolutely punts Takano into the outside wall. So, I mean, we haven't talked about it much because there's been so much going on, but with all of these incidents, this car inside in-season tournament bracket might get even more topsy-turvy after tonight.
I'd say.
lot of drivers in that bracket have been involved in incidents here so far.
They've not been hard to come by. I'll tell you what, this is making the strategy that much more interesting as Matacek takes the road course down the backstretch. We're talking about a 2-stop race for tires. Have we run enough caution laps here maybe to think about just running out the fuel tank? Because we're thinking maybe 80-ish laps, a little bit over the halfway mark in a fuel tank, maybe a little bit more. Is that enough to maybe run the tires out?
I mean, I think you could get there on fuel, and we have had a lot of laps under caution. I think it's a matter of whether you think you're going to be able to hang on to the tires or not. I mean, this is a track that historically I would say it's pretty tough to be able to do that, but I don't know. You look at somebody like Andy Poliski, who's kind of running that little apron line. You just never know what the track surface is going to be like down there. Maybe he's going to be able to save some tire on the apron. It's really hard to say. That's kind of, this racetrack always just seems to surprise you a little bit when we come here. So you kind of expect one thing, and then it seems like something else ends up occurring. So, but the one thing that always happens is we always have great battles, and we've had lots of good side-by-side racing here when we've gotten green flag racing. I think if we can continue on with the green flag racing, it will be a great show.
Certainly, we just need to get some laps in here, get everybody settled in for a long run, and the battles will abound. Back it away. Ellison does not really get fired off very well there from the outside of row number 3. He'll be taken on by Chad Stearns and Matt Schlosser here momentarily as Poliski forced off the bottom. Matacek underneath trying to hang on to third. They go door to door, side by side.
Sent it pretty deep there.
Putting those left sides on the paint. Not quite under the apron, but now we'll have the opportunity to do it here. Poliski trying to turn down the track. You can see it, and now is loose at a 2. And that will shore up the spot here for Matacek. Poliski now going to dive to the apron.
Then now has Carver to deal with. Both Matacek and both Poliski are going to have to deal with Carver here.
I've said it already, and we've got a long ways to go, but Lucas Carver just needs a good night tonight. I hate to jinx it, but it's worth bringing up. Best finish of 15th thus far this season, and that is not at all representative of how he has run.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of things went his way at the beginning of the last season. This season seems to be quite the opposite.
Yep. Poliski, tried to clear up there, at least thought about it, but Matacek still hanging on. Poliski should have him. Well, he stays on the actual racing surface. It's still going to work. For the back, McKinnon, fresh off that spin, side by side here with Ellison.
Well, McKinnon did take tires on lap 14 after the spin. Well, he was down pit road, I should say. I'm not totally sure he took tires.
Oh, caution is out, and it looks like Mark Ossier. And he is parked backwards, driver's side door to the wall.
I'm not even sure there's a door left on that truck.
And I think Tyler Burgert was back on track, and I think his hood is up in front of the windshield, so that is not going to help.
Yeah, I think may have been involved in another one here.
Well, Ossier's night is more than likely over.
I heard somebody can't see anything.
That would be Tyler Burgert.
Let's take a look. Here's the in-car, the in-truck camera.
Out there combing the desert.
Well, let's take a look. Osir and Holyfield side by side, headed into turn 3. Oh, and it looks like this is going to be the 78. That is Brian Mitchell. Oh, and Bergert tried to make an evasive maneuver. And Osir's going to overcorrect it straight up into the path of the 44. I mean, that's not really funny for Tyler, but he just cannot catch him. I mean, that is just two of the unluckiest incidents I've ever seen, and they happened 10 minutes apart.
Well, I think Brian Mitchell's trying to call for an EOL, but it sounds like he's driving in a wind tunnel.
Mitchell drove it in deep. You can hear him. He tried to downshift even to try and get slowed down, but it was too late. Oh, man. Certainly has been, Don. And honestly, that's just par for the course here tonight, I think. iRacing has thrown us to the wolves, basically, with some updates. The racing on the track, drivers are getting aggressive. It's been a day.
That it has. That it has.
Alrighty, folks, we are going to go back green on lap 35. Been some good battling up here up front. Let's see if John Kay can get away with another good one here.
I mean, he's got his restarts down pat. Gunter now going to be under fire from Poliski as Carver washes up the track. Stearns will give him some room. Kay will lead him down the backstretch.
Stearns coming to life here a little bit. He's always one to try and save tire if he can, but getting a little bit deeper into this run, even though it's been a lot of yellow flag laps as Gunter hit the wall out of turn 4. Oh, look at Jeremy McKinnon. He is way down there on the apron.
It's going to be the broke guy way here tonight. As Cade Cannon is up into the top 10 for the first time tonight. He just had a handful of counter steer out of 2.
Oh, and look at this. Now Carver is going to follow suit.
Get ready to get a bunch of notifications on your software that people are pitting every single lap if that starts to be the norm. Every single time.
And Poliski's definitely making it work. He's the most consistent with it. There's no doubt about that. Oh, McKinnon drives it in deep. Side by side here with Chad Stearns.
And he'll square that corner to keep it out of the 05's door, but it hangs Stearns up enough that they're going to continue to go at it here.
Whoa.
Man.
Carver nearly turned Matichek there into turn 1. Matichek kind of came across the nose just a little bit. Whoa, and then really loose there.
Nobody is loving the handle of their truck at this point in the run as Stearns has to bind the brakes there to keep it out of Carver. Meanwhile, here's the look for second.
Carver moving backwards here. Poliski still working the bottom.
Kay is not lighting the world on fire here. Gunter and Poliski have been able to stay with him.
I mean, even with the clean air, these two, even battling amongst each other, are able to stay with John Kay here.
I will say for Poliski here, that's just not the long run plan, but it's certainly short and even medium run pace. You could find a lot here.
I still believe this is going to end up being a two-stop race, even though we've had quite a few cautions.
There's last week's winner, or rather last race's winner, Andy Decano, heavily damaged from an earlier accident, well off the pace, going to stay to the top side. It's the nice thing about New Hampshire is it's plenty wide.
Poliski just keeps inching forward, and I mean, it is slow progress, but very methodical here for the 32.
Yeah, New Hampshire's plenty wide, and Poliski's making it wider right now. Running that elusive 6th lane.
Oh, and Kay, a little bit of a slip up there through turns 3 and 4. Not a great exit there for Poliski, though, as Gunter is going to get a run.
McKinnon down to the apron underneath of Modacek. Again, Broke Guy utilizing the apron. Carver's down onto the apron a little bit further back.
Yeah, I mean, that just makes sense. It's a tight line. And you know what they say.
Indeed it is. Tight line, Broke Guy?
Not quite, but sure.
Okay. Had to give it a shot. Oh, Poliski missed the mark a little bit there. So did McKinnon. He's into the quarter panel of Modacek. They both got a little sideways, but will carry on. And Poliski will give up a truck length and a half here to Gunter.
This is just tough battling all around right now. Oh, man, McKinnon drove that one in deep. Nearly got into a quarter of the 60. And now, side-by-side, door-to-door, down into turn 3.
Gunter underneath of Kay for the race lead. 3 distinct lines for your leaders. All with a car length between them each or less. As Gunter's still trying to peek underneath the K. McKinnon to Modacek, door to door.
Might have been some contact there. It looked like Modacek got really loose there into one.
And it should get clear. As
Boy,
they're 3 wide for the lead.
Oh, and K, big slip up there in turn 3. We are going to be 3 wide off of 4.
K into the wall. Gunter on point. And now he'll hope that Poliski and Kay duke it out. But Poliski is focused forward.
3 abreast at the front and 3 abreast right behind him for a moment there.
3 wide, 2 deep at New Hampshire, just like we all expected. Yeah, this did used to be a plate track, I guess. A little super speedway action. Coming up on the slower truck of Rob Williams, who just had to make a pit stop under green. And to point out on that restart as well, Eric Breeding had a speeding penalty he had to come and serve. As Poliski, with great drive there on the bottom, that will be enough to secure him the lead. John Kay sailed it there into turn number 3 and was able to make it stick. So Kay is still finding things out here.
Chad Stern's starting to make some forward progress here as well. He is not quite clear of Modacek, but I think should be here through turns 1 and 2 and is.
Well, Tyler Bergert is back out on track. As Andy Decano is slow on the top side again.
He said he was going to finish this race even if he had to carry the steering wheel across the line, so.
Hell or high water. Hopefully he wrapped himself in some bubble wrap. McKinnon on the
lot more
prowl,
than
looking
that.
to take. It might. It very well might. McKinnon has got it on K. You talk about this being an oddball track. Poliski has a lot of oddball track victories here on the channel, or at least in the Venom Truck Series anyway. So he's right at home here. How about Corey Rutherford here in the 11th position? Trying to track down Cade Cannon, but first he's going to have to play some defense to Jan Van Leer. I'm sure one track kind of similar to New Hampshire. We'll see in the Venom Truck Series one day. It'll definitely be on the channel sooner rather than later. The 1 mile Mexico City Oval. It's a Telcel there on the truck of Jan Van Leer. We're not the only ones excited about Mexico City finally being on iRacing.
Take a look back up front. John Kay slipping backwards a little bit here. He is about to be under fire from Chad Stearns. Be curious to see when pit stops come for your leaders. Most of them have not been down pit road yet, although Jeremy McKinnon was on lap 14.
More out of necessity. But he was.
I mean, the fall off on the tires is just over a half a second, maybe. Maybe about 6/10, 7/10. I mean, these are quicker lap times, but I mean, for 50 laps, that's not a ton of time, or at least not as much as you would expect. Of course, lots of yellow laundry laps mixed in there as well.
I'd say we're probably hovering around 30 green flag laps thus far. That might be generous. As John Kay got up into the wall out of 2 last time, it allows Stearns to complete that pass and moves Stearns to 4th. Kay now on the top 5 bubble. Matacek with his hands full with Paul Ellison behind him. Or rather with Paul Ellison there.
Speaking of the 55, we're coming up to lap 55.
Paul Ellison running the 55 as always for his little buddy, Layton River. And it's become a seasonal event now in the Venom Truck Series to run the Layton River Ellison Memorial. It's the first time it's been here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ellison with a runner-up finish in the LRE last season at Michigan. It's very happy we could get Paul here whenever we can. I know his schedule is incredibly busy. But, as always, we're always thinking of the Ellison family and everybody close to Layton. But, Ellison with a good run here tonight, thus far running inside the top 10.
Little movement here towards the front of the field. Stearns and Lucas Carver have gotten through on John Kay, so Stearns and Carver both into the top 5 here. Both Kay and Matacek losing some ground. Good short run pace, but haven't had the long run speed thus far. Look at this. Jeremy McKinnon making a move for second on Brody Gunter. Gunter up into the wall off of 2. McKinnon still making that apron work here.
So smooth there down low. Gunter with good momentum. But McKinnon taking a very short path around this track and doing it quite nicely. Trying to get clear. Gunter clawing for every inch to the outside of the 12.
He's doing a good job at taking the runs, but not overdriving it with the speed into the corner. He did just a bit there into turn 3, and not quite enough for McKinnon to get clear. It was close.
Leeski now down in front of McKinnon. He was throwing the dirty air directly on to the nose of Brody Gunter. Now he's doing it to his teammate. McKinnon a little slideways there out of 2. Could have slid up in front of Gunter if he wanted to, but he's going to keep it right down here on the apron. So the top 3 nice and tidy together here at the front of the field.
And lap times have kind of flattened out here for at least for your leader in Poliski. I mean, he's been pretty much right on that 31-second lap time for, I don't know, the last 6-7 laps. As we kind of get a little bit later into this run, you'd kind of expect it to maybe taper off a little bit, but lap times flattening out here for your leader.
I mean, McKinnon had that thing yawed out. He absolutely sent it into 3 and 4, still made it stick. Now he's going to be going for it here on Poliski. Poliski with a little hitch there out of 2. And McKinnon has got room underneath as we're into lap traffic. It's again Ducato. Brian Mitchell out of the way.
McKinnon had to chase well.
Oh, wow. Poliski with no rotation there out of the corner. McKinnon's going to make it work. McKinnon to the lead. So Poliski has seemingly plateaued just a bit here. Struggling with the handle on the truck as it's now Gunter who will try and work down to the apron. Poliski down to defend. And to your point about pit stops a minute ago, Jordan Journeau, or rather about 2 laps ago, came down pit road. Joshua Rutherford is headed down pit road right now.
He's got smoke pouring out of that truck, though.
Oh, yes, he does. So that is definitely not a scheduled stop for Rutherford, coming off his best career Venom Truck Series finish at Talladega.
And Rutherford was, or is, I should say, running a car inside camera for us, but obviously a look of disappointment there. And hands are off the steering wheel, so I would assume pretty major damage there.
Yep, too much damage, we are done, and that is, that's no bueno. So some good battles still inside the top 10. Paul Ellison has reeled in Joshua Matichek once again for 7th. We mentioned Jan Van Leer and Corey Rutherford battling a moment ago. Jan is through on Corey's. Corey's still riding in 12th. Jan up to 11th and tracking down Cade Cannon to try and get into the top 10.
Battle further back. This is for 14th. Kyle Little, Austin Holyfield are battling.
And Andy Ducato, I believe, who's been going really slow on the top side of the track the last probably 10 or 15 laps, really since the restart. I think he blew the right front tire on that truck. He is very slow on the top side of the track with a meatball flag and cannot get it down to pit road.
Well, that would kind of make a little bit of sense. I mean, he hit the outside wall hard there with that right front. So if it's pretty far out of alignment, that's fairly easy to have happen to you.
And through no fault of his own, he's trying his best to get down to pit road, but he's right in the line that the leaders wanted to run there as he's finally able to get down to the apron. That will disrupt the flow of things for the top 4, who have all tightened up at the front of the field once again. McKinnon, Poliski, Gunter, and now Chad Stearns. Is he much of a long-run driver, do you think?
Yeah, we've never talked about how Chad Stearns is good on the long run, have we?
I don't think so. Well, he's certainly showing out right now. Here's the move to the inside of Gunter.
So a little bit of a driver notes here from Joshua Rutherford in the chat. Tight on entry, snappy loose on exit.
Look at this move by Poliski. He sent it to the inside of McKinnon, and he's going to make it stick. Poliski is back to the lead.
Boy, that seemingly came out of nowhere.
Yes, it did. Poliski was closing back in the last couple laps, but he still was 2 truck lengths back into 1 and just sent it, and it worked. McKinnon, remember, on fresher tires than all 3 of the drivers around him, but certainly had to make up a lot of positions to get himself up to this point. The battle between Monacek and Ellison has subsided momentarily for the 7th position. Monacek still has the spot. He's got half a second back to Papa Paul in the 55. Don Van Leer within a truck length of Cade Cannon to try and crack the top 10. And Stearns still working on Gunter for 3rd.
So it seems like this will end up being a one-stop race. Although I am curious what happens on the second half of this race when these drivers who had a lot of yellow flag pace laps mixed in with this run, how they're going to fare if it does indeed stay green.
Well, one driver who will definitely have to pit again will be Jordan Jornell, but he is absolutely flying around this circuit. He's the fastest driver on the track at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see where he can work himself back into before he has to come down pit road. If he can get himself into the leaders and get a caution somewhere on the back end of this race, everybody will be coming back down pit road for tires. So he will have put himself right back into the fight. And on that note, if this is the last time we mention him here tonight, Jordan Jornell having a terrific season. 5th in the points coming into tonight, coming off a best career finish 2 weeks ago at Talladega. Incredible stuff for Jornell. As there's Cannon into the wall, and Jornell with a bump to his teammate.
Yeah, Cannon.
As Jan is through to 10th.
Cannon was fighting Jan pretty hard there, and I guess just got loose there off of 2, but he hit the wall way after the actual exit of the corner.
I think Jornell was boxed in there, tried to get on the gas, and a little tap to Cannon put him in the wall. So this is Corey Rutherford now trying to make time on Cannon with the faster Jornell, just trying to get through. And finally we'll see some daylight here in front of his teammate Cade Cannon. And Rutherford can get to work here for 11th.
Battle for 3rd still going strong here as Stearns and Gunter nearly made contact. Into some lap traffic as well. This will make things difficult.
Oh, Gunter.
Boy. Oh, no! Contact Stearns is going to get turned.
And that is a caution. Oh, man. I think that was the lapper of Brian Mitchell, if I'm not mistaken. Gunter off of Mitchell into Stearns, and nobody could save it. And Stearns is going to pay for it big time here.
Yeah, Stern's trying to find a place to turn around. He's in jeopardy of going a lap down, maybe.
And he will. That's Poliski that just went by. So Stearns trying to do the right thing and not pull himself down into traffic, but that will cost him a lap. As Stearns trying to see what happened. I mean, that was just Gunter getting tight up into Mitchell there and ping-ponging between him and Stearns as they continue to battle hard.
Yeah, Gunter was trying to thread the needle. He did not want to slow down. I mean, he nearly ran into Mitchell there on exit. I feel like maybe he did, and it got Mitchell just a little bit loose. Mitchell just kind of comes back down into Gunter a little bit there, and it upsets the truck of the 01, and Gunter obviously trying to make the save, but not able to do so. Pretty significant contact for the 01 to both of those trucks and the outside wall. Won't be a race ender by any means, but hopefully might have some optional damage to get fixed here. Hopefully not too much.
Ooh.
Let's take a look from the driver's point of view here for Gunter. Let's see him. I know there have been some preachings from some drivers with lap car involvement in some incidents with lead lap cars over this season. I have a feeling there might be another one coming at some point here.
Well, I could weigh in here, but I won't. I don't. When we talk about the width of this track, that was the worst place to be wrong about that. That is not very wide there out of the turns.
No, corner exit's very, very difficult, especially when you're 3 wide like that.
So the race off pit road won by Jeremy McKinnon. He's going to take the outside here. I mean, Poliski pulling out of his box almost turned McKinnon. I mean, they made contact. It was incredibly close to being a disaster for Broke Guy Racing on the race off. But McKinnon takes the lead back here on pit road, elects the outside. It'll be Poliski to his inside. John Kay and Lucas Carver back up now to row number 2. Matacek and Ellison on road 3. Schlosser, Van Leer, Corey Rutherford, and Cade Kane in the top 10. Back at her way here across the halfway mark of this one. Huge jump for McKinnon. Poliski and Kay side by side.
Whoa, Carver really loose. Cade Cannon loose as well. Caution is going to come out.
Problems for Steve Roman as well. He has smacked the inside wall as a result of that. Cannon out of the top 10 after a long green flag run. The restarts with the fresh tires. I mean, it's like they hit an oil slick there out of turn number 2. That's just cold tires for you.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it much. We have the caution periods are fairly short, but yeah, I mean, just like the start of the race, we mentioned it. Cold tires. These trucks at this particular racetrack, especially, just are very, very slick. I mean, there were 2 or 3 drivers very, very loose off the corner there. Here's a replay of the entire restart. Keep an eye on Carver here, who gets really loose. Right there, and then further back, Cannon. Let's see where Well, the replay man missed the boat on that one. May have selected the wrong person there. Let's take a look at Steve Roman. See Cannon in front of Steve get loose right there. Steve himself gets loose, and then Garrett Rainey comes in. Actually, Roman able to keep it off the inside wall. So Roman, although those tires are gonna have a flat spot on them, the truck itself will be okay. Minimal contact there for the 00. As we'll get doubled up.
A really interesting night thus far. It'll be an interesting night tomorrow night. I know you'll be sad you're missing it, but we get to get back to the new Iowa Speedway for the first time with the Daredevil series, however. So catch us there for 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. Thursday night, the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series will be at Kansas. As the restart has been waved off, we'll do another lap here under the yellow. It's time to catch our breath a little bit here, with McKinnon now to the outside of John Kay. Poliski back to third with Jan Van Leer now to his outside. Lucas Carver, Joshua Matacek on row 3. Corey Rutherford and Paul Ellison on row 4. Kyle Zittel and Zach Lockett now into the top 10 respectively for the first time for both of them this evening. So lots of comers and goers in every position throughout the course of the night. But the really only mainstay at the front of this field has been Andy Poliski. Hasn't really left the top 5 at all. But everybody else has had some pretty interesting swings in position through the course of the night. Not the least of which was Jeremy McKinnon, who was wrecked at one point. Now will be in his, I think, third stint as the race leader here. Lap 86 on the board. Still quite a bit of racing left to go. The pace truck is in, and we hammer the throttle. McKinnon stumbles a bit. John Kay will draw even with him at the stripe. Poliski down to the apron. 3 wide for just a moment here for the race lead. Man, tight corners.
Whoa! Wreck in the back.
And a little too tight. Brody Gunter wrecked. That is Pascal Simard. Steve Roman again. Oh, man. This has been a night of chaos and carnage.
It's been a trip, brother. Not done yet.
No, not even close.
Let's take a look here. Gunter down on the apron. Steve Roman in the middle. Of course, all the action happening off of turn 2 as always. Oh, and it looks like Mitchell gets loose on the top. That is just a kind of an odd incident here. They are almost 4 wide off of turn 2 here. Mitchell gets loose, comes down in front of Journeau and down into Steve Roman. And Brody Gunter's night is going to be over for sure. The other 2 might be right about there as well.
Simard is out.
Oh, and that is Pascal Simard. My apologies to to Brian Mitchell. They had very similar trucks in the 76 and 78.
Number font is almost the same, I think.
Almost
if not
the same, and both are red, so that's my apologies there.
But yes, our driver is out, and this has been a season, much like Joshua Rutherford says in the chat, if Pascal Silmar did not have bad luck, he would not have any at all. So he will hopefully fight another week. Gunter out of the race. And McKinnon says he accidentally started in 4th gear. That was the reason for the checkup on the restart. And goodness gracious, these guys are just all over each other.
I think I've been
Big
calling.
checkups.
I think I've been calling Samard Mitchell all night. So you can disregard.
Well, that was Brian Mitchell a couple of cautions ago. You're right there.
Look at the cloud cover over the racetrack all of a sudden.
Big time shade and no lights here at New Hampshire. Great getaway for McKinnon. Okay, will be clear. Poliski and Van Leer side by side for 3rd, and they are nearly wide behind them for a moment. Oh, Corey Rutherford pounds the wall out of 2. Still lots to be sorted out. Just outside of the top 5.
Oh my goodness!
And problems again.
Somebody went absolutely spinning like a top out of 4.
Brian Mitchell. Brian Mitchell for real this time.
Yeah, Mitchell with the toe down pit road. It looked like Steve Roman was involved. Chad Stearns is slow back here, although the truck doesn't look too damaged, so not sure quite what the involvement was, if any.
I think that was Hayden Palumbo, if I'm not mistaken, right behind.
Palumbo already a number of laps down. My goodness. Let's take a look. This is through turns 3 and 4. Mitchell down in front of Palumbo. Oh, and he just gets loose when he's trying to turn down. Gets loose and overcorrects just a touch. Has to get out of the gas, and Palumbo right there behind with not much of a place to go. Take a look from inside the truck. Oh, yeah, Mitchell actually downshifts to 3rd, immediately tries to put the power down, and that's when he gets loose.
That'll make the truck a little hoppy, that's for sure.
Felt like he had a really slow drive off in 4th gear. Tried to downshift to get some RPMs and got a few too many.
Double digits on the caution counts. I would have said it wasn't impossible, but it wasn't likely. I mean, he's still got quite a few laps to go here. One nice long green flag run in the middle of this race, and outside of that, it has been an absolute wreckfest. As we're again extending this caution. It's Jeremy McKinnon in control after Talladega last week. Or 2 weeks ago, rather. He was quite disappointed with getting taken out there. So this has been a nice rebound for McKinnon thus far. John Kay, likewise, if you look at his stat line thus far this season, he's led laps in every race this season, except for, no, he was leading laps earlier tonight as well. So he's led laps every race this season. His only finish outside of the top 10 came at Talladega last time out. So he'll be looking for a little rally here as well. Poliski's been rock solid this season. Jan Van Leer getting a little hitch in the giddy up at Talladega a couple weeks ago. Lucas Carver, things have been going well here tonight. He hopes that they stay that way. Corey Rutherford with 1 top 10 on the season. Would love to double that number at New Hampshire. Garrett Rainey, that Twister Creek Media truck was wrecked earlier, and it's back. It's inside the top 10 now. Joshua Matichek, Paul Ellison, Zach Lockett, your front 5 rows. McKinnon back on the power. Rutherford stumbling through the gears. Leaves a big gap up to your top 5. Oh, Poliski! That could have been worse, but for Poliski, I would imagine he would argue that it was pretty bad. I don't think anybody's going to make contact with Poliski. Poliski's not going to hit the wall, and nobody's going to make contact with each other trying to get around it. But that is one of the front runners of this race headed straight to the back.
Yeah, and the way this has gone might be tough for Poliski to make up any positions really at this point. He's going to need some green flag laps to get it done as gets loose off of 2, trying to get the power down. Man, I'll tell you what, Carver did a hell of a job to get that truck turned down and stay out of the 32. That was a nice piece of work right there. Wow, interesting. Let's back it up a little bit. So Poliski's going to shift down to 3rd. A little bit lighter on the throttle than the last incident, but ultimately shifted down and put the power down, got really loose. Seems to be a theme going on.
Oh, certainly. Gary Clark will get another lucky dog, and he's back to 1 lap down. So McKinnon will take the top once again. Not a surprise. K down low. And with all the checking up and avoiding there, Jan Van Leer is up to 3rd, and Corey Rutherford, despite a poor restart, will be up to 4th. Carver back to 5th. Matichek to his outside. And we are approaching 50 laps to go. Not quite there yet, though. Be a very interesting run to the checkers if we can take this one the rest of the way. McKinnon and Kay back to the restart zone for the 11th time tonight. We're underway. Oh, Rutherford loose, but up to 3rd.
Oh, big send here into turn 3 for a lot of drivers. You see a lot of drivers way up the racetrack. Oh, man. Tight quarters here through the middle of the field.
Everybody swapping paint, swapping tanks. Oh, Jack Watts, uprooted by Kyle Zittel, will save it, but that will cost him multiple positions.
Oh, he's going to get stuck.
Now he's on
maybe
the
3-1.
outside of 3-1.
And Schlosser turned right in front of him.
Oh, man, all jammed up after just a little contact there between Zittel and Watts. Cannon turning Schlosser as a result. Watts still involved. And that is caution number 12. Watts will not be happy about that one. X2. Nor will Schlosser.
Drivers were all over the place into turn 3. And there was contact between Zittel and Watts on entry here. And Watts, as you mentioned, made the save there. Then Cannon comes pretty far up the racetrack. Kind of knows it. He's trying to stay out of Watts here. And not sure if there was contact with Jorno there or not. I don't think so. Hard to tell from that angle, though. But regardless, Cannon down into Schlosser. Contact between Stearns and Cannon there as well. Schlosser and Watts are going to get the worst of it, though.
Stearns will actually be a handful of drivers that will come down pit road here under this caution.
Boy, coming down here to get some tires. That could make things very interesting. Should we get some green flag running?
I mean, we've had 12 cautions, but we've had green flag racing. And we've seen Jeremy McKinnon on fresher tires pick his way through the field. Chad Stearns, long run guy, driving a little red mist mode, if you will. There's no reason he can't pick his way up through the field here if we get a little green flag running. Even if we don't, if he can miss some accidents, he can still find his way up closer to the front. So that caution went unclaimed. Cape Cannon will restart in the 13th position. Schlosser will be outside of the top 20. And Jack Watts will be, I believe, in the 19th position here. So it'll be McKinnon to the outside once again of John Kay. Corey Rutherford and Jan Van Leer on row 2. Row 3 will be Joshua Matacek and Garrett Rainey. Lucas Carver, Josh Freed, row 4. And Paul Ellison and Zach Lockett round out the top 10 with Zittel and Holyfield not too far behind. Pace truck in once again. 51 laps to go at the stripe. That was not a good getaway for John Kay. Let JVL to the outside. Corey Rutherford can't quite get a good enough entry to challenge Jan for third. So it'll be the 5 back to P3.
Right behind Rutherford, things are hot and heavy. Matacek, Rainey, Rainey had a big incident early on in this race, and it looked like he might be in trouble for the rest of the night, but all the way up here fighting for a top 5 position right now.
Rainey and Matacek nearly zigged and zagged into one another. Still trying to get things sorted out. John Kay, though, in second, just ran the purple lap. Trying to draw a bead here on McKinnon. Oh, McKinnon loose. Here comes Kay into the wall. Kay saw his opportunity, put the throttle down, but pays the price. A little bounce off the wall. Now McKinnon down onto the apron. Kay trying to stay on the track and get some momentum off the small amount of banking that there is here. And it's enough to get him the lead across the line. Can he get clear?
He's going to have another good run.
McKinnon nearly washed up into the quarter panel. John Kay is back on point.
Look at this absolute minefield. This is Chad's friends in the 05 who took new tires, came down pit road after the last caution, but so much traffic in front.
Yeah, where do you go? Good luck. The 3 wide, just inside the top 10. Poliski down low. Freed up high, and Carver into the door of the 39. Rainey and Matacek go side by side for position in front of them. Behind them, Lockett through on Ellison. As Carver gets himself out of one 3-wide situation, looking to put himself right at another. 3 wide with Poliski underneath, and Rainey on the top side. Rainey hits the wall. This is a hold your breath kind of situation here. You can make it another 5 laps. A lot of this will be sorted out. But it is just so tightly compacted, so dense. Stearns on the bottom of 3 wide, trying to work his way back into the top 10.
Oh, man.
Andy Poliski's taken 5th away from Joshua Matacek. Poliski will try and rally back forward. Stearns now challenging for 10th and 9th. Underneath Freed, underneath Rainey. And now they'll go 3 wide. Freed trying to pick off the 13.
Oh, lock it up into the wall, able to corral it. Matacek up into the wall off of 4 as well.
Here comes Andy Poliski challenging for 4th. Corey Rutherford having an outstanding night here tonight. Still will be in the top 5 if Poliski can find his way through. But
Poliski is on fresher tires here, by the way. He came down on lap 96. So
after
nearly 20 laps fresher.
Poliski's on quite the pace here. As Matacek and Carver just ricochet off each other. Andy is moving with a purpose. With 40 to go.
Chad Stearns moving forward in a hurry here as well. He has already gotten past Ellison, now underneath of Matichak.
Yes, Stearns with the freshest tires out of anybody towards the front of this field. It'll be interesting to see when our battlers all converge for the lead. Kay and McKinnon. Poliski on fresher tires and Stearns on the freshest tires. Stearns with still some work to do.
Yeah, he's going to start getting into the drivers that are really going to scrap for positions here as well.
Carver needs every point he can get at this point. So he's going to fight hard. Poliski up to second. Now only 6/10 removed from John Kay for the race lead. I mean, Poliski battling for position was still 4/10 quicker than Kay last time around. As long as these two can keep it underneath of him, I mean, it's almost a formality at that point. But has Kay been saving a little bit at the front of this field? The 20-lap tire differential between them.
I'm curious if he's learned anything from the first run. Kay was not spectacular on the long run when we had that earlier on in the race.
Poliski's been the man to beat here tonight, and right now he might have the tires to beat. Kay is not going to go down without a fight. Oh.
Man, Kay really pushed it to the limit there off of 4.
Poliski, whether he knows it or not, he needs to go because Chad Stearns is on the move. Stearns threw on Corey Rutherford and into the top 5. Oh, we've got a problem with Josh Freed. I think maybe he's lagged out of the race. I have no idea what just happened to him. Here goes Poliski for the lead.
Oh,
Man.
John Kay is doing a dance with the outside wall there off of 4 just about every lap.
And he's doing a fantastic job holding up Poliski, but the battle is over. And Andy Poliski is back at the front of this field.
Carver and Jan Van Leer now battling for a top 5 position. This is for 5th.
Corey Rutherford has slipped back a little bit, still inside the top 10, but back there in the 7th position, right behind that battle. And now Ellison will get underneath of him.
Rutherford was pretty good on the short run here, but finally got a little bit of a longer green flag run and started to move backwards a bit.
Keeping an eye on Chad Stern's lap times here. Stern's last time by ran a 30.90, about 300ths quicker than Poliski. So he is faster than the two in front of him, but just barely faster than the race leader.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of traffic here as well, which could be affecting the lap times.
Ben Lear and Ellison side by side for 6th. Oh, I just heard somebody thud into the wall, and it was Jan Van Leer from inside the top 10, and the caution is out. Jan battling with Paul Ellison. And that has done a few things here. Not the least of which is just going to bunch this field up again in the closing laps.
Be curious to see if we have any pit stops here.
Well, I'll tell you this much. We picked an interesting week to all meet up in real life after a race like this.
Oh, man. I mean, there was room, barely. I mean, that's just, again, 3 wide off of 4, or off of 2, really, for that matter. Just very difficult. And to answer my own question, everybody is coming down pit road except for Matt Schlosser.
Schlosser stays out. He'll have been down pit road not too long ago. But who will win the race off? Poliski out. It's luckily still invisible as he pulled straight in front of McKinnon. But he wins the race off. McKinnon out second. Stearns out third. Carver, Zittel the top 5. But again, they'll all be out behind Matt Schlosser.
Yeah, and John Kay with the win off pit road. I mean, that's he gets to go straight out of his box there. So
John Kay and Andy Poliski, 2 fast exiting.
Whoa. Boy, does that change things.
And Matt Schlosser down pit road, and he will get bopped for entering a closed pit. So I think maybe just wanted to lead a lap, but he's going to pay for it.
Oh,
Good
boy.
Lord.
Just when we thought we might know how this race could play out.
No.
Nuh-uh.
That's the magic of the Magic Mile, I guess. Nobody's in control. And we're doubled up, but we're going to go one more lap under the caution here.
To the Rutherford's points in the chat, this is going to help Corey. Corey was pretty good on the short run. We got the longer green flag run, started falling backwards a little bit, so this is going to put a new set of tires on the 15. And maybe a little bit of a new outlook on this race as well.
It clears out 2 trucks in front of him, I can tell you that much, as Poliski and Kay were shoo-ins to compete for the win. Now it'll be up to Chad Stearns and Jeremy McKinnon. about Lucas Carver and Kyle Zittel, who has been battling around and just outside of the top 10 all night. Now he's up to 4th with Corey Rutherford and that'll be Joshua Matichek as soon as Chad Stearns closes up to where he's supposed to be. On row number 3, Jack Watson into the top 10. Steve Roman into the top 10. 2 drivers that have been in quite a few accidents this evening. So McKinnon in control on the outside. And he fires immediately. Great restart, taking advantage of the fact that Chad Stearns is leaving an extra truck length.
Oh,
the caution is out. Yeah, I'm not sure. That was a manually thrown caution from Kyle Zittel. My guess is he maybe hit the wrong button. So that was an undue caution.
Well, I can tell you this. The back bumper has certainly seen better days.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do it again.
Yes, we will. That's a shame for McKinnon because he played that beautifully. And that will cost Stearns a position here, I believe. Because Zittel, at the time of caution, would have been in second. Very strange. On your toes sort of night of racing here at New Hampshire, as Eric Breeding will get one of his laps back. That will put him to 6th down. Everybody else in front of him is on the lead lap, and that is 20 drivers. Might as well go through the field here. Jeremy McKinnon, the leader. Kyle Zittel, 2nd. Chad Stearns in 3rd. Lucas Carver, Joshua Matichek, the top 5. Corey Rutherford, 6th. Jack Watts in 7th. Steve Roman in 8th. Zach Lockett and Austin Holyfield will round out the top 10. The 11th for Frank Starachi, who I don't believe we've mentioned at all tonight. Jordan Journeau in 12th. Garrett Rainey, 13th. Cade Cannon and Gary Clark, the top 15. Matt Schlosser, John Kay, Andy Poliski, all with penalties at the back of the field. 16th, 17th, and 18th. Paul Ellison and Jan Van Leer, who just came back down pit road. So JVL at the back with damage in 20th. Now inside of 20 to go. We'll restart with 18 circuits left. McKinnon again on the outside. Kyle Zittel looking for his first top 10 of the season.
To your point with Frank Starachi, I think night like tonight, if your name hasn't been called, that might be a good thing.
Golden. McKinnon looking for another good restart here. And he got it. Stidle will be side by side with his teammate Carver here for 2nd.
Battling with Stearns.
Oh, and Rutherford loose.
And that was Carver that got into the wall in front of him as well. Nails
Monachek.
one.
Into
Monachek.
the inside wall. Still green as he's
Not
off the
stop.
track.
Yeah.
And Jeremy McKinnon is not on the track. He's lagged out.
No
Chad Stearns
way.
making a move for the lead. Side by side with Zittel for the top spot. I mean, God, who will take control of this race? Will anybody? Will it be Stearns? Stearns is leading, but that's the worst place to be if history has anything to say so far. 16 to go. New leader, 05. Zittel and Carver battling hard for second. Rutherford there in fourth. Four drivers that really need a good night here tonight, and they're going to battle it out for the win. Vroman and Holyfield side by side for a spot in the top five behind him. And they're four wide. Oh, dear. Vroman pulls away. Good God.
Yeah.
Chad Stearns with a purple lap, and then John Kay takes it away. McKay looking to crack the top 10 as Stearns is looking to set sail.
I like a
At the
Poliski.
front of the
Poliski searching for a top 5 was near. I mean, at the back of the lead car line.
I mean, this is the
Just
second
10
time he's had
laps
to do
ago.
this.
Yeah. Okay, contact with Watts. It was literally door to door, so didn't upset either one of them too terribly much, but that was close.
If you're going to hit square, I guess. Goodness gracious.
Poliski past Jorno into the top 5 for the 32.
So I think McKinnon got kicked back to the pits because he never left the session, and he's back out on track at the tail end of the lead lap. Very strange. What a god-awful way to lose this race, if indeed that does come to pass. Look at this. Corey Rutherford challenging for a spot on the podium here underneath of Kyle Zittel. He's got Andy Poliski breathing down both of their necks.
Oh, I saw one go off the track. It's Cade Cannon.
Cannon, slow, will pull it back onto the circuit. That will not trigger the caution. That will cost Cade the 12th position. So he'll drop back to 20th.
Poliski still working on Rutherford here.
Podium position for the taken. Poliski a little bit sideways there on the power. It's coming to 10 laps to go. It's a 1 second lead for Chad Stearns over Lucas Carver. This is the battle for third. In what has just been an unbelievably weird race here at the Magic Mile. I don't know who's doing the magic, but they need to be reined in a little bit, I think.
John Kay trying to make up some positions. He's gotten past Jorno. And now Holyfield here just in the last 5 laps or so. Now starting to work on Steve Roman. As Poliski finally clear of Rutherford and now has a clear shot at KZ.
I mean, Poliski literally hooked his left side tires in the grass in 3 and 4. And it worked. We'll see if he does it again.
That's magic, baby.
I guess. It's something. Dives it way down.
Got to be careful not to throw dirt up on the racing surface there, though.
Yeah. Say it's a little tan down there, but I think they would have cleared it out by now. The way they're running. Zittel is not going to lay over here, nor should he. Poliski is slinging this thing to the bottom.
Whoa,
John Kay with a
man.
move behind them.
Yeah. A very
Poliski's
aggressive
through.
swiping move from John Kay, looking to get past Rutherford as Poliski gets to third. And Kay also clears.
Stearns has doubled his lead back to Carver. 2 seconds.
Man, you just got to think. If Poliski had any sort of track position, of course, it was self-inflicted from the 32, so can't fault anybody here. Trying to make the most of it. Still has a shot to get second.
Made 2 self-inflicted problems for him. With the self-spin from third earlier after leading a bunch of laps. Stearns' excuse is that he's been wrecked, which he was. Pretty good excuse. He's overcome it. So is Poliski. But you're right. Maybe too little, too late. 4 to go. Poliski will have a go here on Carver for second. He's outpacing Stearns by 1/10.5. But that is not going to be enough. Oh, John Kay dirt tracking it out of 2, and that will open the door for Zittel to come back at him here for fourth. For fourth. Three to go. Oh, Poliski lost the nose there on entry, nearly wiped Carver out. That would have been par for the course.
I think that was just Poliski trying to take a different line, and it's working out here.
Well, that line almost ran through the 89.
Carver was mirror driving a little bit there, and Poliski wanted to run the opposite line.
2 to go.
Man, Poliski is getting good runs. He just can't quite get even with the 89 here.
Stearns out of 4 wants to see the white flag to make it official. And he will. Poliski and Carver going to battle on here for second and third. As they go door to door and make contact for a second in front of them, it'll be career victory number 10 for Chad Stearns. Stearns overcomes adversity to take home his first win of the season. Poliski in second, Carver a much-needed podium. Remarkable drives back through the field for Stearns and Poliski. Stearns already drifted here. Well, that was... I don't know if that was magic or not. Maybe cursed. That's in the same realm.
It's witchcraft.
It certainly felt witchy. And would you believe it, Chad Stearns, with his first win of the season, 10th in the Venom Truck Series. 90% of those have been here on the channel. And it's his first one here in New Hampshire. Oh, Lord.
Man, Stearns is really getting after it here, huh?
Well, I thought his team boss, Matt Schlosser, was coming in to clean him out there. This is a good burnout.
He's enjoying this one. A lot of times we see a couple of donuts from him, and then he just exits the truck. He is enjoying this one here at New Hampshire.
I say that Toyota Gazoo racing power plant is about to go kablooey, I think. Any minute now. And the Ilmore is no more. All right, let's get to the full finishing rundown here. Chad Stearns with his first win of the season. He's in double digits now in the Venom Truck Series. Congrats to him. We'll talk to him, Andy Poliski, and Lucas Carver, your podium finishers here tonight in just a moment. John Kay in fourth, the best finish of the season for Kyle Zittel, rounding out the top five. Austin Holyfield with a resilient P6 here tonight. Season best finish for Corey Rutherford in seventh. Eighth place for Zach Lockett. Jack Watts back into the top 10 with a ninth place finish. And Paul Ellison to round out the top 10 right where he started this evening. Sounds like Jordan Jorno and Steve Roman got into it there late. They will finish 11th and 12th. Jorno coming out ahead of Roman. Garrett Rainey in the 13th position. Frank Srirachi in 14th. And Jan Van Leer in 15th. I mean, incredible disappointment and heartbreak for Jeremy McKinnon, who got kicked out of the session as the race leader. So he finishes in 16th. Garrett Clark in 17th. Kate Cannon in 18th. Matt Schlosser and Joshua Mondacek with late race problems relegated to 20th. Eric Breeding running in the 21st position at the end of this one, as was Rob Williams and Andy DeCotto 22nd and 23rd. I think Tyler Bergert finishes in 24th, and Josh Freed got back in there from 25th. But everybody from here on out is a DNF for sure. Brian Mitchell, 26th. Brody Gunter, 27th. Pascal Samard, Hayden Palumbo, and Joshua Rutherford, your top 30. Mark Ossier in 31st. Brantley Gainey and Rodney Matney out on the first lap here this evening will finish in the 33rd position. So let's go hunting now for your podium finishers here this evening. It's time to talk, finally, to Lucas Carver. Technically for the first time on the channel. But man, it's I don't need to tell you, it's been a season. Tonight was a race. But you take home your first podium in the season. Congratulations.
Quote Garrett Rainey, this season has been a thing that happened. I can't buy a lucky horseshoe, a rabbit's foot. Shoot, son, I can't tell where the front end of the truck is in the back. Seems like until tonight, and then it really felt like I was going to settle into about 5th or 6th until Jeremy decided to leave the earth, and Chad and Brody decided to wreck at one point, and it was all over the place, man. It was wild.
I mean, certainly there were a lot of comers and goers here tonight. You're really one of the only mainstays, like, inside the top 5 after taking the poll here this evening. I mean, talk about trying to find your footing, not only in just a season that nothing has been going your way, but also in a race that was, to be polite, I think dynamic is the nice way to put it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We did get that one long stint, and I felt like during that one long stint, I was making up time. And I worked with Andy quite a bit last night. That line that he liked to run was really useful. I couldn't master his 3 and 4. I was comfortable in 1 and 2. And the problem is if you weren't in that group of like 5 or 6 to the front, like when Paul caught me at the beginning, I made a point to try to get back in front of him, because once you got back in about 7th or 8th, it was just guys are sliding the middle, they're sliding in the marbles, they're on the apron, you're 3 wide. I never would have thought I'd have been 3 wide twice in the top 5 fighting at New Hampshire, but here we are. So it was one of those ones where you just kind of wanted a long green flag run so everybody could spread out a little bit, and it just felt like the gods and some of the people here didn't want that.
No, certainly not. Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great finish. You had a great battle there with Andy towards the end. You two were really, really getting after it there. That was a fun battle to watch. You kind of talked about doing some practice with him last night. Did you use any moves that you learned against him last night to try and duke it out here tonight?
I did. I think 3 laps to go was when I started covering the apron because I mean, you didn't have to practice with him to know where Andy was going to go. And I covered the apron, and me and him were just talking about it. I don't like that he shoved me up in 3 and 4, but I mean, I get it. But I told him, I was like, the lap before, I didn't cover the bottom because I figured he was going to send it. And I figured if he sent it and I dove to the bottom, he'd just wreck me. Not intentionally, we'd just come together. And I ran the middle coming to the one before the white flag with 2 to go and was able to get back in front of him. I figured if I could just stick it in that middle lane and kind of hold him down to where that bottom lane really needed to slide to the wall to get its full runoff. I felt like if I could hold him, I'd be all right. And then when we got together, it cost me about 4 miles an hour, and there was no holding on after that unless I wanted to hook him into the wall. And I like Andy a little too much for that.
Yeah, for now anyway. But congrats on the Tech Tape Pole Award to kick off the night. Congrats on the first podium of the season. Long overdue. Looking forward to many more down the road here. But let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Shout out as always to my beautiful wife, Kim, mom, dad, sister, everybody that's been watching. I got some new family members and friends that have been checking it out. So hopefully they tuned in tonight and didn't give up because, man, I would have. Shout out to the Alabama gang, and they're not there anymore, but I always shout out Super Kick. Paul's riding with us. Still talk to EB every day. Shout out to Andy. It was great practicing with him last night. Shout out to you guys as always. Wonderful broadcast. Shout out to Tech Tape for whatever they give me for the pole award. I don't think it's anything. And praise goodness we're hitting a stretch where we should have a lot of fun. I think Nashville Auto Club are some of my best tracks. So hopefully back in here with you in just a few spots more forward.
That sounds like a plan, partner. Looking forward to it next week. We'll hope to talk to you then. But in the meantime, go celebrate this one and enjoy the week as well.
Y'all be good. I appreciate it.
Let's go up one spot. You talk about a dynamic race. It was quite the night for Andy Poliski. From the front to the back to the front to the back to the front once again. What a wild night here at New Hampshire. But regardless, congrats on a resilient second place.
Yeah, kind of feel like Ryan Blaney there.
Yeah, no kidding. At least you still had your motor at the end of the race, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, talk about, having, arguably most of the night was the driver to beat, but circumstances working against you there at multiple points throughout the night.
Yeah, when I spun, I don't know what happened. It like literally snapped on me, which I'm kind of glad. Being kind of up at the front of the field, everybody was able to take evasive action. Was able to just kind of lock it down and be a pretty harmless self spin. And then that last pit stop, I really don't know what happened. That's what we were kind of discussing in there, looking at replay. I guess right there at the exit of pit road, I sped up just a little too much before the yellow line, and that's where it nabbed me. But all in all, I mean, good night, good points night. It was fun racing there. I had a line that really, really worked for me. And able to make a ton of passes.
All right, Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the P2. I mean, it was certainly hard fought all night. You kind of mentioned your line. I don't think you could have made up all those positions if you weren't right down there on the apron all night long. I mean, others tried to duplicate it. They couldn't quite get there. Well, I mean, what about this line just worked so well for you in particular here tonight, do you think?
I don't know. For some reason, flat tracks just really, as much as I sometimes don't like them, they really, really work for me and work for my driving style. It takes a lot of patience, especially down there, to be able to get the drive off to maintain it. But still, I was able to really drive into the corners too. So, I wish I could tell you what exactly worked for me. It just something I tried in practice and it clicked, and I was able to really capitalize on it. But yeah, go where everybody else wasn't. So that's what helped the most.
Always nice to be able to get out and not see anybody in front of you, even if that is the apron, and tickling the inside wall there through 1 and 2. This is your first podium of the season, but man, you've really been rocking and rolling thus far in season 10.
Yeah, we're off to a really good start. So a lot better start than it was in season 9. So, I'm just gonna keep taking it as they come. Ride the momentum as long as you can because sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug.
Well, let's we'll squash the bug talk, pun intended, and hope that things keep on keeping on for you with some good tracks for you coming up as well. So in the meantime, let's get some shout outs in before I let you go.
As always, thank my wife and daughter. They always support me a lot on this. My sponsor, Nissan Wichita Falls, great place to buy a car, great place to work. If you need parts, come see me at Nissan Parts. You can holler at me. I'll get you fixed up. The league, these guys are awesome. Week in, week out. I mean, some of the best drivers I've ever raced around in iRacing. Hands down. It doesn't matter whether you're at the front of the pack or the back of the pack. It's good racing all the way around. And then, like always, when I'm in the booth, you guys are awesome. Going back and watching the race every single week, so it's great to go back and watch it. Great to watch you guys interact with everybody and put on a great broadcast.
And I promise, if we race again tomorrow, I will try not to crash you. I've been doing a pretty good job of not wrecking you on Wednesday nights, so we'll hope to keep that up as well. But in the meantime, keep up all the good work thus far this season, and we'll hope to talk to you again next week in Nashville.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, shout out to Josh Motorcheck for that dirt league. That's an awesome league to run in. I would say that has probably helped a lot, at least here, because dirt really teaches you a lot of patience on the throttle. So it went a long way tonight.
Certainly had to up here with a tricky set of circumstances. But we'll hope to talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Time to talk to your race winner. It's the 10th win of his Venom Truck Series career, and 9 of them have come here on the channel. Chad Stearns takes a wild one here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. You didn't quite have to go from the back to the front quite as much as the driver that finished second to you, but you had to do it once. I mean, quite the performance here tonight, to say the least. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it felt like I had to do it more than once.
I mean,
it was eventful, so.
It certainly was. I mean, we know you're the long run driver. We didn't have but maybe 1 or 2 long runs really at all tonight, if you can even call them that. I mean, how do you find your footing in a night that's kind of as weird as this one was?
Well, I just ran the same way I always do. I try to save a little bit, be conservative, but after that last caution, we all were able to get tires. Luke said he made the comment that it was a C fix from that point. So that's really what it was, man. And for those last laps, I was able to go all out. And it's pretty much it, man. Didn't really have a strategy going in. And some things worked out for me, some didn't. I don't know. I think after I had that little incident with Brody, it loosened me up a little bit, the damage. So I actually think it helped me.
Well, that's always nice. Matt, what you got for the race winner?
Yeah, congrats on the great run, Chad. You kind of talked about after the last caution, everybody was able to come down and get tires. But a few before that, you came down to get tires and were kind of buried in the pack and was working your way through her. And you did a great job of it, but it took a little bit to fire off there. Talk to me about having to try and work through some traffic on fresher tires. I mean, obviously they're quicker, but there's only so many places you can go when there's 3 wide action here around New Hampshire.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how that was going to play out, with a little bit of damage, new tires. But once we got rolling, and I'm not super comfortable throwing it down there on the apron, but that's pretty much how I was able to get by people. Throw it down there, kind of keep it from sliding up, and it seemed to work out. It was fairly safe. So,
well, awesome stuff here tonight. Congrats on the first win of the season. Congrats on your 10th Venom Truck Series victory as well. And we'll let you get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, I'd just like to shout out you guys for the broadcast, Venom Truck Series, and 939 Motorsports. Appreciate it, y'all.
Absolutely, partner. Looking forward to another 10 here, hopefully all this season, so we can broadcast them. But regardless, go celebrate the win, and we'll hope to talk to you again next week in Nashville.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
And if I'm not mistaken, Chad Stearns won last time out at the Nashville Super Speedway. I don't know if we've mentioned it on air or not. Of course, you won't be with us tomorrow night for the Daredevil series because you'll be off headed to the Venom boys anyway. But next week, you also will not be in the booth for the Venom Truck series, but for a different reason.
Yeah, that is true. I'm the way my schedule's lining up, I'm regretting the decision a little bit at this point. But I will be on the racetrack at Nashville Super Speedway. It seemed fitting to pick Nashville for obvious reasons, as I lived there for nearly 10 years, and it's a fun racetrack. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm just kind of right there in the middle. I like it. I like it, so that's what I chose. But I will get to practice almost not at all because the old Bristol Venom Truck Series meetup is this weekend, and I have a long trip ahead of me tomorrow and the next day. So, but it'll be fun. I'm excited to cut it up with the boys somewhere other than a super speedway. So it'll be interesting to work my way around some of these fellas, and just hope I don't cause any problems.
It certainly is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm personally in the I love watching it. I hate driving it, so I don't know where that puts me, but somewhere in the middle, I guess. Regardless, let's thanks to the folks that were hanging out with us here. They got treated to one of the races we've ever had.
Yeah, they certainly did. Shout out, and they were very vocal in the chat tonight, which we always like.
They were.
Lots of chats, so love to see that. Shout out to Zach Lockett hopping in here, cheering on the teammate on the W here at the end of the stream. Shout out to Joshua Rutherford, Don Golden, Allie Hill, Tyler Bergerts, who had one heck of a night tonight. Shout out to Bailey Marie Monachek, Ryan Dye, of course, Cole Maxwell. Lisa Kelly cheering on Tyler Berger herself, and Robin Monachek. I believe I got everybody there. Thanks for the chats here tonight. Always great to hear from everybody. And shout out to Tommy for another great one. It was an interesting night. Thanks for sticking it out here.
Absolutely. We'll hope to catch you for some more racing here throughout the course of the week. Tomorrow night it is the new Iowa, which we got to see last week with the Max v CNC Home Designs Truck Series. This time it'll be the Daredevil Series. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time for that one. Catch us Thursday night with Max V at Kansas Motor Speedway, Kansas Speedway. Catch us there at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will wrap us all the way around to Tuesday. Nashville Super Speedway, round number 2 of the Car Inside in-season tournament will take place there. And, I think that is all we got for you here tonight. Thanks to everybody that was hanging out with us this evening. Thank you to the admin team who will be hard at work on this one. And thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson, as always. That's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Chad Stearns on his 10th career Venom Truck Series victory, his first of the season. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.